Well, hey guys, how's it going? My name is Arden, and today we're talking about Empire number 5. So, I've been down on this series a little bit. I gotta say, overall, I didn't hate this issue, but it does leave very little room for there to be much more to Empire. It left me wanting a lot more out of this event on the whole, and I'm still shy of recommending it at this point. And that's really all I have to say, spoiler free. This story is by Al Ewing and Dan Slott, with this Al Ewing doing the script. Valerio Schiti does the artwork. Marte Garcia does coloring. And Joe Carmagna does lettering. So, same creative team as always. Um, I will say the better side of some of Al Ewing's writing comes out here. There really isn't too much substantial, and certainly I can think of other writers I would have liked to handle some of the content in here, most particularly the flashbacks we get to the wedding between Hulkling and Wiccan. But otherwise, that's about it. So let's just verge into spoiler territory, I guess. I will say the artwork, once again, is excellent, and once again, the writing just doesn't kind of live up to it. Inferno Studios, welcome to the stream, and everyone else who's joined us. Uh, yep, let's dive into this thing. So we begin flashing back to the wedding between Hulkling and Wiccan, like I mentioned. I like this part, and if you're a fan of the Young Avengers, you probably will too. Like I was alluding to a little earlier, it would have been nice if someone like, I guess, what's his name? The guy who wrote the original Young Avengers run, doing something like this would be more interesting. Alan Weinberg, I want to say. I'm not totally sure if that's right, but someone in chat will know. Anyways, but it was a sweet enough moment, and they kind of flash forward into the present with Wiccan saying, well, that's definitely not really Hulkling. Meanwhile, She-Hulk is murdering the Thing, and Invisible Woman can't even stop her despite her powers. The Kotati are basically explaining that She-Hulk is basically a husk, so even like creating a bubble in She-Hulk's brain doesn't do anything because it doesn't matter. It's pretty gruesome stuff, and I will give Empire credit. That's a pretty cool moment. Then we cut to Wakanda being overwhelmed. Again, a pretty cool moment where Black Panther and gets to do some cool stuff, but the Kotati managed to break through and take root in Wakanda. And we really get to the all is lost moment. T'Challa gets stabbed by swordsmen, and Koi emerges through a portal in Wakanda. So we are really getting to a bad point. And meanwhile, Wiccan and everyone else teleports into the throne room of the Kree Skrull fleet with Captain Marvel and the Human Torch and Hulkling, the actual Hulkling, not the what is clearly the Empress in disguise. And that's pretty much it. We then cut back to Reed Richards and Tony Stark, and Tony's made Reed a Iron Suit armor, or whatever, Iron Man armor, Fantastic Four themed. And we learned that the suit that he's been working on, yeah, wasn't for Tony, but was for Reed Richards. So basically, oh, and the pyre, the Kree Skrull weapon thing, has been fired. So there really isn't much to this. It's very much just kind of following a pretty standard pattern towards the finale, where we'll have to resolve all of these big things, and presumably we somehow easily will. I gotta say, it's pretty disappointing on the whole. And like I said, this story and the Avengers tie-in I reviewed a little earlier both kind of reflect the potential of Empire, where we're talking about like the struggle of these two long-time Marvel alien races coming together into this empire, and the struggle behind that and the difficulty and all that potential kind of being weighed against the reality of this event, where that stuff is very underplayed. I was kind of hoping Captain Marvel could do something as the accuser, and instead she's just like, she has a little bit of a moment here, but it really isn't nothing. the Pyre already being fired. Yeah, but that's like, standard event stuff. And it would be shocking if Earth's sun was destroyed and the system had to be moved. I was thinking about that in this story, but I would be very surprised if something like that would happen. Personally, I'd be all for it. Maybe if Earth somehow became a more central figure in galactic politics, that would be different and interesting. Um, if stuff somehow tied into the X-Men more, I think that would have been pretty cool. I get the whole thing with Wakanda and the vibranium soil is a cool idea for a power source they would need to seek, but I was kind of hoping for more of the X-Men. Now I am ordering the next X-Men book, like of their core series, and that's still an Empyre tie-in, so we'll see about that. And maybe there was more to Empyre before the pandemic and various tie-ins were cut. But otherwise, this is a pretty damn disappointing book. Now, I am sorry I'm a little behind on the review here. I just was very busy and tired this weekend and had a bunch of stuff to deal with. So, it is kind of, I'm just catching up now with the last few books that I haven't reviewed from last week. And Empyre was one of them, but that's all I really have to say on the matter because I've kind of talked that event quite a bit up at this point. But we also have other books to talk about, and next up is Seven Secrets by Tom Taylor. So he's got a new series from Boom Studios, and I'm quite looking forward to that. And after that, we still have to talk about Death Metal 3, which makes me feel a little more behind that I haven't gotten around to that one yet, but we're going to try and do them all today. So stay tuned to that. And thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time here on Comic Island.